I think we all know how successful the Pro Expanders have been, but I'm just going to run you through now what sizes I use for sort of fishing situations. I'm going to start off with the smallest one in the range. These are 2 mils. Again, massive success with these. Gets lots of Facebook and messages saying, Des, I love your Pro Expanders, but I still get asked questions, you know, what do you do with them? What do you use them for? Obviously different sizes. Now the 2 mils, I know for a fact that a lot of people are using these for actually putting these in for skimmers and F1 fishing, you know, skimmers sort of any time of the year, but F1 fishing during the winter. And they're actually feeding these 2 mil expanders. So instead of feeding sort of 2 mil feed pellets, they're actually feeding the 2 mil expanders and putting sort of one of these or 2 of these on the hook, or even a 4 mil on the actual hook. But these are great also by mixing them in with your ground bait. So if you're going somewhere like I am today, you want to put some ground bait in to get the fish in your peg, and you're probably thinking about catching skimmers, mixed fisheries, and you want to fish with expanders, definitely try putting these in your ground bait. They're absolutely brilliant. So that's the 2 mils. The 4 mil is probably the all-rounder, as we all know. You know, you can feed these, but these are the ones I probably use day in, day out, wherever I'm fishing for skimmers, carp and F1s, summer, winter, whatever, it doesn't matter. Perfect size, we all know. You know, when we start getting the warmer weather, you can feed these with some hard pellets. It doesn't really matter. You can put them in with ground bait, but the 4 mil for me is the all-round size for mixed fisheries. Absolutely perfect. And then the 6 mils, I go to venues, especially sort of in the warmer months of the year. I've even fed these with a catapult. There's certain times of the year I go to venues and the silverfish switch off sort of around spawning time. That's the time when you can actually feed expanders and you can actually catch carp shallow. They love it because they obviously sort of sink really, really slowly. And that's what these sort of real delicate carp, you know, the ones that are cruising around, they want a bait. It goes down really slow. Sometimes 6 mils on the hook, you cannot beat them. I go to venues where if you don't put a 6 mil on, you've got a job to get a bite over a 4 mil. It's really weird. So the 6 mil, like I said, is probably going in sort of carp, bigger F1s in the summer, but never forget to take a few 6 mils with you. And last year, we actually come out with the 8 mils. Get loads of reports back from me. Des, I love your 8 mil pellets. You know, when I'm fishing short, you know, especially when you go to venues that you're not allowed to fish with meat, where you might be feeding hard pellets and you want to fish a big hook. That's when these 8 mils come into their own. I take these to Belingi just for a hook bait and Whiteacres and places like that. On the day, they're absolutely deadly. You can get a bite on an expander when you can't get a bite on any other bait. One other important thing, I still get asked, Des, how do you prep, you know, how do you do your expanders? What's the best way of doing them? I'm just using that as an example. That's a bait booster bottle, and I've got some empty ones at home. That's the sort of tub you want. A nice big tub. Even if you use something like a milk carton, you know, like a 2 or 3 pint milk bottle, leave the lid on, put your expanders in there, but don't put too many in. Even in a bottle that big, which is probably twice the size of a Coke can, I only put my expanders probably about 1 inch up. The most important thing is plenty of water on top of the pellets, and make sure the water is really, really cold. The colder the water, the firmer the pellet will be. If you want a softer pellet, just use it straight out the tap. If you want a firmer pellet, all I do is have a 2 litre bottle of water in a fridge, and it's obviously down to 2 or 3 degrees. Use that water to put over your pellets and they'll be perfect every time.